Hi, I'm Tom Donahue, Mayor of the City of Rutland, and welcome to From the Mayor's Desk, second edition. Today's April 15th, and we want to just talk about things going on in the community, a wide variety of things, actually, and in future episodes, I'm going to have some guests on the show occasionally just to add a little depth to the conversation. But as we go along, I'm just going to do a download from the mayor, if you will, and some of the things that have been going on in and around the community, on the Rutland City Board of Aldermen and in City Hall and just throughout the town. Lots of exciting things going on, and we want to talk about all those good things in detail so that you kind of know the facts and you hear it right from the mayor's desk, right here on PEG TV. So thank you for watching and tuning in. We really appreciate it. We had a great response to our first program. So that was just 2 weeks ago on April 1st, and we really appreciate the fact that it's been well received. And so we're going to keep this rolling every 2 weeks so that this is one of the ways that we're going to be communicator in chief and talk about things, all things Rutland, as we like to say, because it's very, very important to communicate with you, the public, about what's going on in your community, and notes of interest. There's some fun things going on, and there's some real nitty-gritty work type things, but just nothing like having the information firsthand from the mayor. So here we are. I wanted to start, first of all, talking about the Rutland City Board of Aldermen meeting last week where my appointment was approved. Now that is Barry Beauchamp. So our new Rutland City Alderman, and Barry would be my appointment to take my own seat to finish my first term on the Board of Aldermen. That's the second year of that term, so he would run for re-election in theory next March. But Barry was unanimously approved by the Rutland City Board of Aldermen. I want to thank the aldermen for the support of my choice there with Barry Beauchamp. Additionally, going forward, I'll be appointing a ward clerk this week, and also those have to be tabled for 2 weeks. So Barry was nominated a couple of weeks ago and then came up at the last meeting, was approved. In this last meeting, I appointed Dick Corsell to the Rutland Redevelopment Authority. Now that's the nomination for appointment to the Rutland Redevelopment Authority. They have 7 appointments by the mayor. So Dick would be that 7th individual that needed to be filled on the RRA. He's a former director, you may know, of the Downtown Rutland Partnership, and he's the CEO at Rutland Mental Health Community Care Network. So that will be taken up at the next Board of Aldermen's meeting on Monday, April 20th, and Dick would be voted on at that point, and I'll report back to you at the next from the mayor's desk regarding the results of that nomination, but appreciate Dick being willing to step up and serve in that capacity. He's certainly a qualified individual for it. Additionally, we have a replacement on the Rutland City Police Commission. So Melinda Humphrey is stepping down only because she is got an opportunity on a house, and we congratulate her for that. It's exciting for her. But one of the requirements for the Rutland City Police Commission, according to the charter, is that the members are legal voters of the City of Rutland. So obviously that means that you would be both a voter, but also in order to be a voter, you have to be a resident. So we appreciate Melinda's time. I attended the Police Commission meeting this week, so that I was there in person, sort of supporting the Rutland City Police Department in that way, and supporting the Police Commission in that way too. Just as an observer, they asked me to comment on a couple of things, but generally they're just to observe and support. And I did fill that slate already with a nomination, and that is former Rutland City Alderman Matt Whitcomb. So Matt is now nominated to be the next Rutland City Police Commissioner. Again, that was tabled for the 2-week period by the Rutland City Board of Aldermen per charter. That's the process. And then Matt's name will be taken up also at the meeting of the Board of Aldermen on Monday, April 20th. So hopefully those two will be unanimously approved as well. I love those unanimous approvals. It's great to have the support of the Board of Aldermen and the mayor working together on getting these seats filled and getting other initiatives moved ahead. So On that note, regarding appointments, I attended last night the Rutland City School Board meeting. And the school board's doing a great job over there. Their administration, their staff, their teacher support, the teachers themselves, and the support staff and so forth, doing wonderful work over there. One of the things I like about those Rutland City school board meetings is that they have informational updates by various schools within the school district to the board themselves. And they're very, very informational. And gosh, as a taxpayer and a citizen, I really enjoy listening to the really great information that they're providing about the education that our children are getting. And so the first thing that I was able to do last night was watch the vote on the two appointments that I made to the school board, and that's Kathy Solsa and Ryan Carney. Both of those were individuals who had considered not running for re-election, but then after the election, when those two line items on the ballot, which were for write-ins, didn't get the requisite number required to qualify as a write-in candidate, I was able to then fill those, and both Kathy and Ryan were willing to come back. So I sincerely appreciate that. That's a lot of work that they've done. Kathy, of course, has been the chair. Charlene Seward is now the new chair, and she did a great job last night running that meeting. But both of those nominations of mine were also unanimously approved by the Rutland City School Board. So I was really appreciative of their support as well, and I support them. And both of them took their seats, but I got to be there to swear them in. So that was kind of fun. I think that's really important, that not only nominate them, watch them be installed by vote, but then be there to actually do the official swearing in, signing the documents, and they assumed their seats and got to work. So that was last night at the Rutland City School Board meeting. So very, very happy about that. And then going forward, we'll have more nominations. I'm looking at all the different boards and commissions of the city, what and who need to be nominated, renominated, or any open seats that need to be filled. And I'm trying to get those on every aldermanic ballot going forward. I should say aldermanic agenda going forward. A note of interest, one of the things about the aldermanic agenda, we have a deadline on that. When I say we, the city, mayor, alderman, and it works through the city clerk's office. That's Tracy Capusta, and she does a great job there managing and assisting the board. She obviously runs elections and just came off of one, and we have another one already in August as a primary before November. So she'll be working on that soon, and we'll talk about that as that unfolds, by the way, in future episodes. But I wanted to just mention, because a lot of people don't know, that there's a deadline for the agenda of Thursday at 1 o'clock. So if you had something that you were trying to get on, like a special event permit, as an example, that's the deadline. So the meeting would be that Monday, but the prior Thursday at 1 p.m. is when they close out the agenda. And that's really important because, and I've talked to all of our leadership team at City Hall, the department heads, and others about making sure, myself included, make sure that we get everything on by that deadline. David Allaire, the president of the Board of Aldermen, reviews that agenda on Friday after we finish it. And then it goes out to the full board, both in hard copy if you want to pick it up at City Hall. I always like the hard copy, so I had them print one that I could pick up. They also email it out to the board. And that gives them Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, in theory, to be able to look over more documents that are included in that packet and ask questions, certainly consider the issues, but it gives them that time before the Monday meeting to do so. And I think that's really, really critical, and something that I'm insisting on is that we all make the deadline. And the reason for that is that the board meetings are for policy setting and taking the votes on the issues that have been vetted. The vetting should be going on in committee and throughout the week when they have questions, and our department heads can answer them, I can answer them, or we can support them in any way of coming to the decision they want to make, voting yes or no on issues. Well, it's very difficult when things are emailed at the last minute, whether it's Sunday afternoon if you're an alderman and getting that. I was, and I know what it feels like, or sometimes even Monday. And it doesn't give us the chance to represent the city properly at the board level, and we're expected to make votes on behalf of the people that elected us. And you want to make the right decision and vote accordingly. But you don't want to be in the dark at all, and you want to have your questions answered, or your concerns satisfied, or maybe just have some positive things that you want to say about it. So it's really, really important for us to make sure that everything is in the board's hands and plenty of time for them to do that. And the way to do that is to make sure that it's in advance or no later than Thursday at 1 p.m. for the Monday meeting. So that's how we do that for the future Board of Aldermen's meetings, so that they go smoothly and the board feels comfortable with the topics at hand week to week. So to wrap up on that, just to say that as I go forward, I will be continuing to make appointments that'll go on the board's agenda. They're tabled by charter for 2 weeks, that's the process, and then they'll be taken up for votes. But I'm going to make sure that all boards are properly appointed and any vacancies are filled. And we've had some great people offer up them their own services and skill sets to say, you know, I'd be interested in serving if you have anything. So I really appreciate all of you that have done that, because it's really, really important to have good people to choose from to get on these boards that are providing this service, whether that's a planning commission or development review board, or all these different things that are out there that we appreciate the efforts that are put in. I also wanted to mention that we wanted to talk about closings and openings of businesses and so forth that are occurring. So one I want to mention, Bailey's closed this week, and that's unfortunate. So we did lose a business that was the bar on Evelyn Street in downtown. So we lost Bailey's, that is closed. I am excited to say that we did some openings. And the reason I'm bringing you openings and closings when I can, when I'm aware of them, is that I think as mayor, I need to be looking at the net number. And I don't want to talk to you about 10 businesses that opened if we closed 11. That's just disingenuous. I really want to talk about how we're doing to move forward, getting ahead. You know, did we close 1 but open 3? You know, and that's what I want to be able to discern and communicate to you, which I think is important. So one of the ones that I'm excited to be doing be part of their grand opening at noon on Saturday, on the 18th, is Max and Dot, the women's clothing store on 26 Center Street in downtown Rutland. It looks by their Facebook page and so forth. They have a website. They're doing online as well as what they call bricks and mortar. They're opening a storefront right there in downtown on Center Street. It looks like a great place, and I think they'll be very busy and very popular. So I'm excited to be there for their grand opening on Saturday, and I'll talk more about that at the next edition, I should say, from the mayor's desk. But also, I stopped in yesterday at 99 Woodstock Avenue. I don't know if you noticed, but there was a gas station there. It was always a Sunoco. Now it's a little more present with the overhead for keeping you out of the weather. That's right next to Dunkin' Donuts on Woodstock Avenue. And I went in to just shake hands with the folks in there, the general manager, and congratulate them. I think they're going to be doing an upcoming opening, so watch for that. But in the meantime, I just wanted to pop in and say hello, because that was a pretty run-down gas station, if you remember. And it's right to the right as you're facing it, looking north, right to the right of Dunkin' Donuts. There's a house and then the gas station on the corner. Well, it looks fantastic right now. They've really done a great job of making it what they call Z-Mart. And it is gas and sundries, which is to be expected these days. That's what people like with their gasoline, and it has restrooms inside and so forth. But just how bright it was and how clean and how renovated and new it was, I was very happy to see the renovation of, somewhat of a blighted property on our main strip of Route 4 East, Woodstock Avenue in our case, transformed into this nice, bright, new business in Rutland. So very happy for Z-Mart and 99 Woodstock Avenue. Excited about seeing that one open. And then you may have seen on social media, particularly, the folks that own Maple Angus are incorporated into the Village Snack Bar, and that's sure a sign of spring when the Village Snack Bar opens. So we're excited to see that, but they've renovated the whole inside and have some great indoor dining that they're going to be opening very soon. I'll be able to report that out, I think, at the next mayor's desk. It should be open and operating, and I know everyone's going to want to be there for that, and ice cream, of course. So excited for the people of Maple Angus moving all of that into Rutland and incorporating it into the Village Snack Bar. Fantastic. Excited about that as well. And I did another opening that was quite interesting. It's called Captain Aquatics. And the reason I say it's interesting, they have a variety of different fish and reptiles, basically. So it's actually called Fins and Scales, Captain Aquatics Fins and Scales. The new owner is Alex Knapp, and they opened at 162 North Main Street. And we did the ribbon cutting. Larry Copley was on hand. Paul Clifford came by, both Rutland City aldermen. And they kind of had some fun with me because they took one of the reptiles, which was a very large python snake that is nicknamed Tiny, and wrapped it around me for a photo op, which I got quite a picture. And somebody last night asked me if it was AI, and it wasn't, but it was kind of fun. And so basically they're open for people to come and visit, bring your kids, your grandkids, and so forth, or just adults too. So they have a little price that you pay to come in, and then they have little storyboards at each station that includes everything from really exotic fish, really some really interesting, and other types of fish, I guess, like stingrays and things like that. This little version of a shark. And all these things, by the way, grow really big. They're about this big now. They're going to grow this big. So eventually, I'm not sure how they do that, if they keep expanding the tanks or have to move them on. But that's one whole section. And another section includes things like giant turtles and iguanas and all those kinds of things. Of course, the snakes and spiders and just all kinds of great things that children are just going to really enjoy going in there. And it's a very small fee to get in, and it's a very entertaining afternoon for sure. They're open 6 days a week up there. And they're also going to have a little spot in the back where they do birthday parties. So I think that was a great idea. They had a nice grand opening cake there last week, so that was fun to go to. And then one other thing that I found really intriguing was they have a section that is blocked off in the back, this employees only section, and what that is set up to actually take care of your pet in your absence. So if you're going away for a while and you have an iguana, as an example, and don't want to leave it at home on its own, worry about it, want to have it taken care of while you're away, you can actually bring it to Alex and his team up there, and they will watch it for you and take care of it while you're away. So I thought that was an incredible idea. So that's a lot of fun. That's Captain Aquatics Fins and Scales on 162 North Main Street. And then it was also a kind of a rollout opening of Anna's Empanadas at 24 Whale Street is back open again, and Anna's been working in there this week to get things open again. So we'll talk about that more in future episodes, but last one I just wanted to mention, which is just kind of a release this week, was the Fox Hollow Forest School, and that's in a partnership with VAC. And that's an interesting concept that I want to talk about in a future episode in more detail. So I love the fact that I can come to you and talk about these openings, and definitely seeing quite a resurgence of interest in Rutland City again and doing business here. In a nice variety of businesses and scattered throughout the city, some downtown and some outside of downtown. So all good news. I'm really happy to report it to you. I'm excited about that. I also wanted to mention we have, I took these from City Hall, and I'm going to return them to City Hall as soon as I get back. But this summer, we're talking about summer and Village Snack Bar. That's cool. But we also have job opportunities. So I just wanted to mention that. Because I think that's quite interesting. The Recreation Department has openings for lifeguard, swim instructor, greeter, front desk, camp counselor, and all the details are on the website, and that's it for the Rutland City Recreation Program. And also the Department of Public Works has labor positions for streets, wastewater collection, wastewater treatment plant, and all of those are posted as well. So they have these summer job opportunity and working for the city of Rutland in both the Recreation Department and the Public Works Department available right now. And I'm going to transition into Public Works for a second because I did want to mention that the Commissioner of Public Works, Bob Pradovinsky, and Ted Gillen, the Assistant City Engineer, put out a capital construction project update. Mainly, I just wanted to mention and read quickly the Connor Park Combined Sewer Storage Tank, which is underway now this year, and actually right now as we speak. As it says here, the scope of the project consists of the installation of a 612,000-foot precast concrete storage tank below the northern baseball diamond at Monsignor Connor Memorial Park on Meadow Street. The construction cost exceeds $6 million. It will be fully funded by multiple pollution control grants that were awarded to Rutland City, most notably a Combined Sewer Overflow American Rescue Plan Act grant. There's a lot more on that I can talk about, but I mainly wanted to mention it because there will be a delineating line, basically, that the park will still be open from the ball fields to the east. So from the ball fields, from that line to the west, including those ball fields, will be closed for this project, and you'll be able to see it. The rest of the park will still be open, including the playground, the basketball courts. And that's Monsignor Connor Park on Meadow Street in Rutland. And this is a big project. It's going to really help with the water drainage in that side of town, but it's also going to help with the separation of stormwater and sewer, which really adds more capacity back to our plant, so you're not treating that. And it's a really important project. I'm going to just say that the Rutland City, it says it operates the largest wastewater treatment facility in the state. Rutland City operates the largest wastewater treatment facility in the state with a capacity of 22 million gallons per day. And stormwater still manages to overwhelm the facility, and therefore more of the stormwater that you can separate out, the more capacity in the plant. As a result, the combined sewage is released as 4 separate outfall locations when the treatment plant and collection plant system are full capacity. So this storage tank is being constructed in a manner that will enable the city to store combined sewage that would otherwise be discharged. So that's the whole concept. It's a 612,000 gallon storage tank, expected to eliminate the overwhelming majority of overflow events from occurring at these 2 locations. So it's a really, really important upgrade, and we're excited that they are getting to that this summer, and that'll be a plus for the city, plus for that whole neighborhood, and a plus for the capacity in our plants. But I did want to mention it too because there will be some disruption in the park from a certain section. Half the park sort of moving west, and the other half moving east will be open, as it normally is. Another sign of spring I just wanted to mention because I love talking about spring in Vermont and summer. The Rutland City Police Department, I wanted to give them a shout out because the bike patrol has started again. What you'll see is officers on bicycles. One of the great things about that is it eliminates barriers, if you will, physical barriers of an automobile. So they're out more interacting with the public, they're more visible. And by the way, with gas prices going up quite a bit, it's an energy saver, which is great. It's saving on the cost of fuel, which is fantastic. But it also is giving the officers an opportunity to exercise during the day. They cover a lot of ground on those bicycles. And I wanted to mention that too because they are also able to go places that the cars are not sometimes. So all part of their proactive police presence, which is, a big push of mine to support the police department on this proactive approach to policing, which is reducing our numbers in theory, because the more we can proactively police and eliminate crime before it happens, the less calls for service and the less running around that they have to do. Lots of more interesting things the police department is doing that I'm going to get into in future episodes, but very happy to see, and that the weather's turned and spring has sprung, and that our bicycle patrols for the Rutland City Police Department have started again. I did want to mention too, I did attend the Project Vision meeting last week, and there's a section on the agenda each week from the remarks from the mayor, and I want to make sure that I'm present. So I attended both the Project Vision meeting to speak briefly about things going on in Rutland, and those are great collaborations of many community partners that come together to support the police department. And it's another way of proactively policing, actually, to help people in need, which oftentimes reduces calls. And I also attended the RutStat meeting, so that is the Rutland Statistics meeting. I mentioned this to you before, but worth noting again because they also meet every 2 weeks. Going forward, I'll probably try to bring you some of the statistics because they're quite interesting, in that it's not just the total number of calls, but it's the where the calls are happening, what times of the day, even what weeks of the month, and sometimes there's some clues there as to why these things are happening, and if they can address that proactively again, because they're looking at the data and it's consistent. It really matters. So it helps to know what they call the hot spots, which are three-peats. It's anywhere where there's at least 3 calls in the 2-week period, or 3 or more. Some calls are in the dozens in the same locations. So those are areas that they would concentrate police more often, just to have a presence, and that reduces the crime. So it's a great process that they are undertaking with this proactive policing, directed patrols and things at the Rutland City Police Department. I'm very proud of what they're doing, and I'm very actively involved over there because that's a tenet of my administration, for sure, is accomplishing, reducing the crime in Rutland City, getting a reputation for public safety. So very excited about that. And then I did have a meeting this week. I'm just going to touch on it just briefly because there'll be more to come. But in October, our sister city in Hanamaki, Japan, will be having an official delegation coming to celebrate the 40th anniversary of our sister city agreement in Hanamaki in Japan. So they're sending 20 of their leaders over here to Rutland. There's a great group. Rutland City Alderwoman Anna Taddeo, get that right, is on board with folks like Rob Bliss and others, Tim Wigmore. They'll be putting together a great few days for the visit. You'll hear a lot more about that in coming episodes from the mayor's desk, but I just wanted to let you know the 40th anniversary of our sister city relationship with what used to be Ishidoria, Japan, now Hanamaki City. Will be happening in October, and they'll be coming to visit. So more on that in the future. And last but not least, wrapping up real quick, I just want to mention 3 properties under the city-owned properties that are for sale, and this information is available at City Hall, but it's 296 West Street, 56 Cleveland Avenue, and 36 Pine Street. And if you're interested in bidding on any of these city-owned properties, bids have to be in by 3 p.m. on May 15th. And there's a simple application that you fill out, city-owned properties application. So it's pretty straightforward and easy, but these are the things that are ongoing at City Hall. For the last couple of weeks, this is my update from the mayor's desk, and I'll put that away there. And I just want to say thank you again for giving me this time through PEG TV to communicate some of the things happening in the city now and in the future. I will continue to bring you these episodes every 2 weeks, hopefully adding some pictures in the future and possibly some guests in person to talk briefly about the topic at hand directly from them. So in the meantime, I'm Tom Donahue, Mayor of the City of Rutland. I want to thank you for watching from the Mayor's Desk, and I'll see you again in 2 weeks.